Good morning, grade 9. This is lesson number 10 now, and the chapter is Structure of Molecules. Today the topic is polar and non-polar covalent bond. It's again the classification of covalent bond on the basis of electronegativity difference between the bonding atoms in a molecule. Clear? And it's given on page number 106 and 107. So what's the non-polar covalent bond? The covalent bond, which is formed by the mutual sharing of electrons between atoms having similar electronegativities, means the similar atoms will form the non-polar covalent bond. So examples are hydrogen molecule, chlorine molecule and bromine molecule. You can see these are the molecules which have same kind of atoms. So they will have same nucleus, and the attraction for the shared paired of electron will be same towards each atom, and no formation of poles will take place. In such cases, both the atoms attract the shared paired of electrons equally, so opposite poles are not created in these bonds. You can see the hydrogen atoms clearly when they combine and form hydrogen molecules, so both the nucleus will attract the shared paired of electrons equally towards itself, so no formation of poles will take place. Same is the case with chlorine atoms. When they combine and form molecules, the shared pair of electron will be in the center of the bond, because the attraction for the shared pair of electron on both sides will be same. So that's why this is called as non-polar covalent bond, means no pole, no negative, no positive poles. Clear? Polar covalent bond. The covalent bond, which is formed by the mutual sharing of electrons between atoms having different electronegativities, is called polar covalent bond. Means the attraction for electrons, if different, or if their nuclear size or nuclear charge is different from each other, so that will form a poles on each side, and that's why that compound will be called, or that molecule will be called as polar covalent compound having polar covalent bond. Consider the HCl molecule. There is a single covalent bond between H and Cl atoms. As electronegativity of chlorine atom is greater, means the attraction for the shared pair of electron is greater towards chlorine than the electronegativity of hydrogen atom. Therefore, the shared pair of electrons between hydrogen and chlorine atoms is attracted more towards chlorine than hydrogen atom. Clear? Hence, a partial positive charge is produced on hydrogen atom and a partial negative charge is produced on chlorine atom. Why? Because the shared pair of electron is slightly towards chlorine, so a partial negative charge on chlorine. So opposite poles are formed in HCl molecules, and the bond is called a polar bond or a polar covalent bond. Is it clear? Okay, this is now hydrogen chloride, so I can explain it through a diagram. Look at hydrogen with 1 electron and chlorine with outer 7 electrons. So both need 1 electron to complete their outer or valence shells. This is hydrogen and chlorine. They will share the electrons together by mutual sharing. They will form a single covalent bond. But this shared pair of electron will slightly attract towards chlorine atom, and that's why a partial negative charge will appear on chlorine and a partial positive on hydrogen. So because of the formation of opposite poles, this is known as polar covalent bond, or the molecule will be named as polar covalent compound. Clear? Now, how electronegativity play its role? Electronegativity play a vital role in deciding polar and non-polar nature of covalent bond, and also the type of bonding, ionic or covalent one. Property which describes the tendency of an atom to attract electrons to itself in a compound. It is the molecule of hydrogen chloride, in which the electronegativity value of chlorine is 3.0 and that of hydrogen is 2.1. So that is obvious that electronegativity value of chlorine is more than hydrogen. So chlorine will attract the shared pair of electron towards itself, and that will result in the formation of poles, opposite poles, which will result in a polar covalent bond. In your homework, I gave you 2 questions. So keeping this concept in your mind, you have to answer short question number 7 and 8 on page number 119. I think this is enough for today. Thank you, class.